The meeting is called to order. Southampton Town Planning Board, Thursday, February 12th, 2026. The secretary will call the roll.
Chair LaFaro is absent, Vice Chair Finnerty.
Present.
The secretary is here. Board Member Mutu.
Present.
Board Member Glazer.
Present.
Board Member Fulham. Present. We do have a quorum.
Very good. Could you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any minutes?
January 22nd.
Very good. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Kate, second by George. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? We have 5 yes, 1 absent, and 1 vacancy. Do I have that right? I think I do.
Yes.
We have 1 walk-on item is to designate our secretary. We're going to put the name of Gloria Burke in nomination. Are there any additional names for nomination? Very good. Do we have a motion to appoint Gloria Burke as secretary of the planning board for 2026 at 0 compensation? I always include that. Motion by George, second by Kate. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Congratulations.
It's unanimous. Congratulations. You don't even have to be sworn in, Gloria. Krista will
I
will
actually
add
was
that to the
sworn in,
minutes.
As new member.
yes, as a new member
Yeah.
by
Oh, yeah,
Sunday.
yeah, that's right.
That was an extension, anyway.
Yep.
So, Seth, you're not doing that, Seth, you're not doing that advisory, that No, okay. Do you want to start us off or on
I certainly would go.
Flanders?
Suggest, yeah, we can go right into site plan with 265 Flanders. We have the representative here, Haley Lyons, if you'd like to come up and join us.
Great.
I have a staff report we'll be reviewing, so this is a site plan, special exception application.
Welcome. Could you just identify yourself for the audio record?
Haley Lyons from Farrell Building Companies.
Oh, great. Welcome, Carol. Katie.
So yeah, this is at 265 Flanders Road. This is in the light industrial LI 40 district. Furthermore, is also listed in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District and the compatible growth, Central Pine Barrens compatible growth area, and the Riverside Overlay District.
Seth, can you just orient us exactly where it is in Flanders, like what's close by?
Sure. Well, so if you're aware of the STP, the sewage treatment plant, and the enterprise zone,
Yes.
that's to the south.
I can do this.
Okay.
Thanks.
So this was the Head Start building.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
thanks.
It's been demolished, and then, of course, that's the bank on the corner, but the STP is south of that.
Yeah, down south of it.
Okay, perfect,
So
thank
yeah,
you.
Head Start next door, that's residential there to the west, town, and then it's otherwise it's town-owned land. And then to the north you have county, I think one of those is county and one is a residence. At any rate, this is a fairly straightforward application. The site does have a site plan for True Arts Ironworks, correct.
Oh, that's right.
This will be a change of use from a special trade contractor to an auto body repair garage. And there are minimal modifications in this application to the building, the pre-existing building.
Okay. You good on the parking there? and everything?
That is one of the reasons this is before us. In fact, it was the crux of the matter was, and we can just skip to the chase. It had 3 overhead bay doors, 12 by 12 garage doors. According to the code, for every bay door, you have to have 4 parking spots. So that, when it came back in, we noticed there's not required parking for that amount of overhead doors. That's what that the applicant is proposing, to remove the overhead garage doors, keep the 5 existing parking spots with 1 overhead bay. So that would be the 4 for the bay and the 1 for the employee.
Now, they get credit for interior parking though, don't they? If they're showing,
That's a
Where do
great
you know?
question. I don't have a,
The bays are what's generating the parking.
Oh, okay,
So if you have a bay, it generates 4 more parking spaces.
because of the use.
Yeah.
Because I know we've done special trade contractors where
There's
they've
parking
had,
inside?
they park on the
Yeah,
truck
so
inside.
the bay would cause, by eliminating the bays, you're minusing 4 spaces.
Gotcha.
So that, it's a different situation.
But
Okay.
if this is going to be an auto repair shop, don't you need the bays to get the cars in?
And there will be 1 bay.
Yes.
Yeah.
There will be one
So you
bay.
can move the cars
There'll probably be
internally.
one drive in and then navigate around in the interior.
So there's 4 bays right now, we'll close 3, and keep the one open, and it's just a small auto body shop, it's one guy and his wife, he doesn't have any employees, so the volume of business is sufficient, for just 1 bay, so.
Cool.
so yeah, it's an internal operation.
Yeah.
The cars will be mostly on the inside.
Inside,
That's
yep.
what I'm led to believe. Again, because of the small nature of this modification, it's a secret type 2 action. There are no site modifications except for the exterior of the building, which speaks to its inclusion in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District. There's not going to be any disturbance of the site. However, that being said, the site was noticed with a violation in 2018, I'm sorry. Where was my date? At any rate, it was noticed with a violation for having excessive weeds and not having proper property maintenance. So it had gone before this board for a revegetation back in 2018, which was finalized in 2023. Unfortunately, the plantings never were allowed to take hold, and they all summarily died, or I can't say all of them, but a good portion of them. Under our standards for revegetation, we require an 80% survival rate.
Oh,
So this is something we're going to address now with this conditional approval, is the revisiting of that revegetation plan from 2018 done by Aries Design and the re-implementation of that plan.
okay.
We don't need to redesign it, it was designed properly.
But just
So we're just
redo
gonna
it.
make sure to fill in the holes, remove the weeds. Yes, please.
Internally, we've reviewed the plan again, and we'll replant anything that's died, so. I already spoke to, the higher-ups at Farrell, and they approved everything. Great, we'll move
Good.
forward.
Excellent. So they're
So,
amenable to that. Anything else?
no, I'm just looking at your conditional, the approval, you have it?
I have the, at the last page of the staff report that is one of the, it seems rather long-winded. I do have all the general standards as well for this, that, as it is a special exception. But yes, we can either skip forward to the actual resolution
Sure.
and the conditions therein.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so, the staff report lays out, as I've been pointing out, that all the referrals came in, and there were lots of no comments on this particular item.
Trails.
And we did point out there were 2 kind of things that I think the town would like to see. That would be the revegetation, and I was going to say, since it's in the Riverside Overlay District and next door to the STP, there is going to be a notification covenant that says that site will connect to the sewage treatment plant upon completion of the plant, when it becomes operational, sometime in 2030. We're trying to notify all the residents and commercial enterprises in that area to connect.
Okay, I mean, it's an advisory notice, I don't know that it's an enforcement.
It's interesting, West Hampton Beach has got now a code on their books where they are now, it's an enforceable, at some point it will become enforceable.
It recently sent out stronger notices to some residents who didn't connect,
Yes.
West Hampton Beach is.
Yeah.
I don't know, we don't have a code on the books that says you are required to connect, but
I could see
other
new-
municipalities have.
I think under the county or there's something that's a requirement, if you're able to hook up, that you have a certain
Yeah.
period of time to do it, otherwise you're not.
Within a certain distance, or?
Well, you're very
I'm not
close.
sure.
You are right next door,
The whole flag.
Yeah, it's the entire road.
Yeah.
I wish Teresa was here to speak to it, I have read
I
it.
can't get Teresa. Do you want me to?
Well,
Or, yeah.
yeah,
You wanna go on and
yeah, we'll just
Yes,
go
of
on.
course. So I had laid out that it would be the adoption of the staff report that we have been looking at, and the adoption of the general standards, section 331.22. That would be, there's no real specific special exception standards for this, just the general ones.
General, yeah.
Having looked at them, there was, the only things I can point out are the revegetation and the Riverside Overlay District. So I had put those into an approval with changes to site plan being, I did notice that there was no signage for the ADA compliant parking space. That needs to be added to the site plan. General conditions of approval, most of these are you're aware of. No changes to site lighting. Natural vegetation will be replanted per the 2018 revegetation plan. New signage is subject to planning board and town architectural review board approval. HVAC will be screened. Then the items to be submitted as a condition of approval would be the standard notarized affidavit indicating compliance. The next point would be a submission of a notification covenant acknowledging that said parcel shall connect to the Riverside Sewage District within 1 year of the activation of said STP, and further comply with all federal, state, local laws and regulations associated with the Riverside District.
Oh, there's Teresa. We're struggling with the whole
Yeah,
connection
is
issue,
that
Teresa.
consistent
Thanks
with
for,
what the town
thanks for
code?
Yeah,
popping
we
in.
discussed it, we've had attorneys look at it.
This
So-
site is directly adjacent to the STP, and we're wondering how we implement, first of all, how did they get noticed that it's operational?
So, that's very loud, I'm sorry. So the reason why we're asking for a notification covenant is there is a requirement within, I believe it's 1 year of the startup of the STP. Property owners are required to hook up. In the case of the residential properties, the town is going to work with the property owners to pay for the hookup for the residential property owners. However, for commercial properties, that responsibility will be on the property owner. We are recommending the notice for covenant so that they're aware and they keep abreast of what is happening with the sewage treatment plant. Just so that you are aware, presently we are in the 60% design phase, and we're hoping to get to 90% by the end of the year, with bid documents going out at the beginning of next year. And then we anticipate construction to take about 2 years, maybe a little bit more. So property owners, part of the reason why we want this covenant is so that if the properties do change hands, property owners, new property owners are aware that they're going to be required to hook to the sewage treatment plant, and that they start following that news to see when that comes on. And obviously, we'll try and work with the community. We're having public outreach requirements. There are requirements for us to do regular public outreach as part of our permitting process for the sewage treatment plant. So again, there's going to be meetings, there's notices sent to property owners for when we have our meetings. I know that we're working with our engineers to schedule another community meeting coming up to talk about what it's going to look like on their properties, what the units look like, that kind of thing. But again, more than anything, that we are recommending the notice covenant so that if properties change hands, the new property owner's not surprised. And then, they're aware and can follow the news. And obviously, when the construction is happening, they'll see it happening.
yeah.
Right? It's going to be a lot of work. So
basically, it's a notice covenant that they will be required to do it, and that seems to be across the board.
Okay, but the town,
And commercial.
the town has to know, it's incumbent upon the town to notify them.
Yeah, they will, but there will be a series of notifications
They notify-
also, but this will be a notice covenant. Go ahead.
they're not required to once it's established. There are notification processes in its establishment and getting everything going, so there'll be the requirements on us along the way. Once it's up and running, there's not an obligation for us to do something. I'm sure that planning will try perhaps and send out some notifications just to remind everybody, but at that point, it's on the homeowner or whomever to.
And what is recourse if they don't hook up?
Well, there's, in the example, in the case of the most recent connection of Westhampton Beach to the Grabeski sewage treatment plant. They've got a couple of holdouts, and they're like in court, kind of fighting it out to get them connected. So again, part of this recommendation for the notice covenant is also to try and avoid that situation, so that everybody's aware what their requirements are going to have to be, and that, you know, that we don't end up having holdouts. Okay?
You're saying so commercial properties will be required to pay for their own hookups, whereas residential, the town will
Correct.
carry the
In some cases, they, you know, like, for example, we have several mobile home parks in the sewage treatment plant, district. You know, maybe they could work with the CPF to get water quality funding to connect. Those are possibilities. I don't know specifically about actual commercial properties that are turning a profit that aren't residential, whether or not they would be eligible. But my understanding from our discussions with our town engineers is that what will happen is the town will put a connecting stub in the street, and then the property owner would just need to buy the required grinder pump to connect and to run the piping. And my understanding, it is significantly cheaper than putting in a new IA septic system in.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna put in the stubs.
Yeah,
Have
so
you
we'll
ever
we'll put the stub there in the road to the property,
Right.
and then they just have to connect the building to the grinder pump and the grinder pump to the road.
Gotcha.
Similar to when you get hooked up to county water.
Correct.
I mean, the cleanest way, it would seem to me, is just a process to revoke the C of O if it's not compliance.
That I'm not going to speak to
There
because
is a
I'm not
mechanism
an
to do
attorney
that.
with respect to issuance of COs.
If West Hampton had to put something on their books, it might be to have separate jurisdictions be able to act upon that requirement of the 1 year, which I think is imposed by either the county or the state. We would have to then do something on our own, so I'm not really sure of that process yet, but obviously if we
Beyond
need
this
to
board.
ever, we'll look into whatever we need to
So
look into.
it sounds like the notice covenant acts to travel with the property is really what the intent is here, right?
Right.
What you're saying is that if the property transfers hands, then that new person would be aware, right? So I think it accomplishes what we're looking for.
Well,
Makes
for
sense.
example, the town has done similar notice covenants. I know that we did one for a subdivision, I believe, on Halsey Lane, where like part of the property, it was a 2-lot subdivision. One property definitely had wetlands, and the other one was kind of close. So they were, like, a notice covenant was required to say, hey, you may need a wetlands permit, you need to check with the town before you do any redevelopment. I know the DEC does notice covenants as well. So, again, this is just so that if the properties change hands, nobody's surprised, and that the current property owner is made aware that this is happening, and that they're going to be required to hook up, and so that they follow the news, so that they're aware of what is happening in the community. And
You know, one of the challenges we'll face in the future, not now, maybe 28 or 29, if the plant comes online in 30, is what about new projects and the switching to IA systems just a year before connecting to the sewage plant? It's a
So-
problem for the future, not for now, but interesting.
we've had discussions about this. Kathleen Murray, another one of the town attorneys, and Janice and I had a discussion about it yesterday. Janice had met with the Health Department, John Schellingen at the Health Department, and my understanding was specifically with respect to residential, again, I don't know about commercial, we still have to do that, but under the town code presently, is if you do an expansion of 25% or more, you're required to hook up to an IA septic system. And under the health department, if you meet certain criteria, you're supposed to upgrade to a septic system. There is a provision in the health department code that says if you are in an approved sewer district that is on the commissioner's list, you're not required to install an IA because you're getting a sewage treatment plant. Because it's unfair to
Yeah,
make
I
somebody put in a brand-new system for $30,000 and then just have to yank it all out. So in that particular instance,
Well, that's good to
for
know.
residential homes, if they wanted to do some renovations that would, in theory, trigger an IA septic system
Yep.
upgrade, they would say, okay, well, you're getting a sewer district in 2 years, you don't have to put one in, but you have to know that you're gonna be connected.
Right, good to know.
Okay?
Okay, so don't put in an IA system.
No.
We'll try not to.
Seth, we looked at the improvements, we're not doing any large plantings in the front where,
I do have a revegetation plan that was the entirety of the front. Yes, so there will be plantings in the front, and that is actually The last point on the, prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy, that the applicant will have the site inspected by planning for conformity with the 2018 revegetation plan, which was
Quite expensive.
mostly in the front, well, I should say in the front and the back.
Because wouldn't we want to have that modified to allow for the trenching into the,
Oh,
into the sewer?
It-
I'm thinking of large
It
trees.
depends on where the
We don't know where
existing
the septic
septic system
system is,
is, right? Because in the event that you have this lot has an existing septic system, and depending on where the septic system comes out, you may not want to re-plumb the entirety of the building. So if it
Right.
comes out on the side, they would just they would connect the side to the grinder pump and then run it underneath. And then, again, the disturbance for this is really going to be minimal because it's just the trench for the pipe, which is probably going to be only like this
Yeah.
wide. And the grinder pump, they brought in one for one of the work sessions, the most recent work session, and it's,
It's in the driveway.
You drive it up.
Yeah,
driveway?
so I think you're all fine.
And, they have technology now, they can do directional drilling of pipes now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
directional
mean,
boring.
when I hooked it up
I mean,
to,
obviously, the size of the grinder pump is dependent on the use, but like, they're like this big, they're
Yeah.
really not big.
Okay, cool. All right.
Do you have any more
Okay.
questions for me?
Do we know
Teresa,
what-
thank you as always.
yeah, thank you.
you know
Really got an
what's-
education.
What's happening to the Head Start site?
Oh, see, it's not our jurisdiction, so we really don't know.
Oh.
I mean, I could ask.
The reason I asked, I was just wondering, do we need to do, this isn't County Road 39, but it is a busy road. Do we need to provide for any kind of cross-access easement between the two
I
properties?
guess
or-
we could, but it's just
not
apples
a
and
lot, right?
oranges.
I'm just asking because I don't know.
Especially since this is gonna be a pretty low-key
Yeah.
use. It's just, yeah, I mean, it would be ideal, but it also is a place that ideally, if it is, continue to be Head Start, it's got buses coming in and out.
It's really a low-intensity use on,
Yeah.
on this, our site in particular, the
Yeah.
one in question. Yeah, I can't speak to what comes next for that Head Start. I'm not sure.
Seth, just one question. When I reviewed the packet,
Thanks, Teresa.
I made a note that the report was incomplete. Did you make, since we didn't go through it, did you make any changes from what was submitted to us?
I have not made any, was going through the report, I have, the general standards 122, and there's A through,
Unfortunately, I didn't make more of a note than
Well-
it's incomplete.
oh my.
I have to say
We'll double
Seth is
check
very
it, but it
thorough.
is the general standards, which the most specific one is, do you comply with parking? And this
Yeah.
one does, so.
That's what the rub was, yeah.
Now we do, finally.
Now you do.
Yeah. So we have the conditions.
The two, yes.
Did we review all of them? Yeah. And the covenant of the STP.
Yeah, the conditions of approval, I'd mentioned the notarized affidavit, the notification covenant, which we just went through. Then 3C was the 6 complete sets of plans. And then I had mentioned item 4 was, prior to C of O, was that planning would inspect the revegetation to make sure it was conforming. And that was all the conditions of approval.
Okay, great. Any questions for,
No, I was just gonna say Seth has been very thorough.
he always is.
Thank you.
And that the re-veg plan was installed and inspected by the town back in
good.
2018. But we obviously have to have the snow melt and then the
Yeah.
weather to break for everything to be reinstalled, so.
To defrost.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Like
ready
us.
for it.
Okay, very good. Do we have a motion for approval? Motion by George, second by David. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 5 yes. One absent, one vacancy. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yes, thank you for
Thank
coming in.
you.
Seth, thank you.
Of course.
And then, Anthony, tell us the status on Pietro.
Yeah, I think Kevin was just going
Dura?
to advise the board
Okay,
where he is with
great.
the,
Hi, Kevin. How are you? Come on up, just identify for the voice record.
Kevin Springer, Dynamic Legal, 48 Columbine Avenue North, Hampton Bays, New York.
Great.
We've had a couple extensions here, as we're all aware, but I have finally gotten a hold of the lone complainant, who is the neighbor to the west,
Yeah.
and I gave them a quick update, but we are going to meet next week to walk the property again, show them what's been proposed, see what they think, and then just move, and then try and come up with an amicable solution for everybody, so we
Yeah.
don't have to keep dragging this thing out.
I mean,
It's-
it's the lighting and the
it's
noise,
January.
you know.
What's that?
It's February, so.
Yeah, so, and then.
Lighting and the noise are the main issues he's
Right.
looking for there,
Yeah, so, you know, they had originally said, listen, we're not against fun and whatnot, which
Right.
I understand, but, you know, I also don't want it to come back to us and say, well, we're not against it, but we're against this
Yeah.
again. So we're just trying to get everybody on
That's
the
the right
same
way to do it,
page.
yeah.
And this way we can have it all on paper and there's no more confusion and call it a day with it.
So we'll get a revised site plan once you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, or at the very least, know what the changes are. I don't know, you know.
I'm eventually gonna need the revised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have to move the outside bar anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's just by code. So it's definitely gonna.
So we're thinking of an extension, Anthony, do you know, what is it, 30-day or?
No, we'll just do to the 24th.
Yeah, I
To
don't
next
know.
meeting.
I'm gonna
February,
meet
2
them
weeks.
Literally,
26th.
26?
yeah, probably Monday or Tuesday of this coming week.
Okay,
is the
so
idea,
do we have a motion to extend to the 26th? Motion by Kate, second by David, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacant. And thank you for coming in.
2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Morels,
It is off the agenda.
item 3 is off.
So I've got a big list, I think it's big, list of bonds.
Okay.
Oldies but goodies.
On James.
They fell through the cracks a little bit for the maintenance bonds. So there's a maintenance bond for this.
PRG, we're item 4.
This is, in the resolution, I will put the amount in there. But this is,
Can we just make sure we're identifying the application for the people in the audience?
sure,
PRG.
PRG2.
PRG
number
2.
4. And so this, what is Brown Buddha?
Brown Buddha.
So there's been a complete site plan done on this property since this bond was effected, and it was never released. So this would be releasing the money back to the person who did a bond on this property back in 2012.
Way back in the
Yeah,
day.
so
Okay,
this is
great.
just, I'll write a resolution to the fact that we had a bond set, the applicant never requested the bond to be released, but there's been a complete site plan that's been completed with the CO, and therefore the monies is not relevant anymore, it can go back to the applicant.
I was just gonna ask if the applicants don't chase the money back once they finish.
You know, it's funny, but that would be probably one of those things with New York State, you know, you look that up, if there's money someplace for you,
It should
right?
be distributed among the,
Underpaid planning board.
It's $2.
after the mic's off, I'll tell you what I think. Do we have a motion by Gloria and second by Kate, all in favor? Aye, opposed, abstentions, 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. How about B and B Properties,
This
number
is the
5?
same situation. This is Starbucks. It was approved back in 2000.
Oh, my.
Bridgehampton. And this was 2 bonds that you had set for, one for $1,000, that was to upgrade the lighting, and the other one was $2,000 to upgrade the landscaping plan. And again, there was a site plan done in 2010
Yeah.
for some office building on the property, and we completed that, CO issued, no bond with that. So this would be just to return the monies.
Is it one resolution to release 2
Yeah,
bonds?
2 bonds,
Very
1
good.
resolution.
Motion?
Kate, but on the motions, Gloria on the second, all in favor? Aye, opposed, abstentions, 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. Dakota, is that you? Dakota Properties, yeah.
Yes. And then this is off the agenda, I have to
Item
double
6
check
is
that one.
off. Great. All right, Claire, don't go too far.
Wait, Dakota.
Anthony, did you,
Hoplands?
Hoplands, you want
Yeah.
to jump in on that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna give out, some paperwork, but let me just, bring the board up here. If you look at the aerial up here, it involves, 2 properties on Old Country Road in East Quogue. It's a CR80 zoning district. It's these 2 existing properties. It's got an existing house with a garage, and the application, basically, it was processed as a subdivision, but it's sort of a reconfiguration of the lots. So there would be 1 lot in the front, and 1 lot in the back.
It's like a flag type situation.
Well, yeah, actually, because if you look at the aerial, it's hard to see up there, but to the north on this property, the very north end, a portion of the corner of the property fronts on William Street or something. It's a private road.
yeah.
They don't have rights of access to it. But this was a project that went before the zoning board for some lot area. At the time, it was a determination that was made is they had legal frontage on a road, so they didn't need a variance, but they're actually providing an access easement from Old Country Road.
Oh, good.
To provide access to the back lot. sort of see, it's pretty straightforward. The front lot there has all of the existing improvements, and then the lot in the back.
Vacant.
Where's the access for the back lot?
What's that?
It's hard to see in the plan. Where is it taking access from the back lot
Right here.
to the side?
Now, I'm just gonna give out a little pile of papers for everybody. When this was done, this had a planning board application, a ZBA application, because it needed a little bit of relief. This is in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District, and what happened was it got classified as a type 2 action. And it got processed that way. A colleague of mine from another municipality who lives near pointed this out, and he's correct. It should have been classified as an unlisted action. So what you're going to see is in the very first two papers I gave you was just a short EAF form, and then a resolution rectifying the secret record here. It's a 2-lot subdivision with clearing impositions. It's only one new house, so there weren't any significant impacts, and that's why we did a short form. But if you look at the resolution, at the very bottom of the first resolution, it says it be resolved, the Southampton Town Planning Board hereby rescinds the previous type 2 classification and reclassifies the action as unlisted to ensure an accurate record and proper procedural compliance with 6 NYC-RR Part 617. Then it goes on to further resolve that the planning board conducts an uncoordinated review of the unlisted action and establishes itself as lead agency, and then has reviewed the short EAF form and recommends a neg deck. I wanted to get it in the record so that it's clear that we acknowledge that there should have been some, secret review here. So my first action really was to, as I said there, reclassify, be lead agency, and issue a negative declaration.
So that's the first resolution. Do we have a motion? Motion by Gloria, second by Kate. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy.
And then if you go to the second resolution, it's actually a conditional approval. There, so I'll go through it there.
Sure.
If you go back to on the first page there, the last whereas, those are the findings of this subdivision. This was an unlisted action, and the planning board issued a negative declaration February 12th, 2026. 2, a cluster plan is not required. It's not adjacent to any existing open space. However, in the interest of maintaining buffers in woodland areas and protecting neighbors, a 20-foot buffer is required along the westerly property boundary between lots 1 and 2. And this is in addition to the clearing limitations. There's a spelling error there. So this to show the board, on this side of the property, we have a very long driveway that provides access to the back here. What I'm recommending, because we have clearing restrictions that we're going to impose per APOD, I'm just recommending from the north side of the improvements here on this property, just to do a 20-foot buffer all the way up to the top here. And what I'm recommending, you'll see when we get to it, there's been some pine beetle damage here. So what I'm recommending in here, there's some nice white pines already in this area. They're not usually used in native plants, but they do exist. They do a little bit better. After talking to Teresa with the pine beetle situation, and the neighbor said they were out there. So I'm going to recommend, and you'll see it in there, that they augment that buffer with some white pines, just to maintain. It's really to maintain, a corridor, a buffer corridor, and to protect neighbors. And then we're going to have the clearing restrictions on top of that. So, number 3, the zoning board granted relief for this on November 1st, not 2028. That hasn't happened yet.
Time flies.
Health Department approved this in August of 2025. Number 5, we had a public hearing December 11th and followed with the 30-day written comment period, and we did get comments. We got a letter from the adjacent property owner, Brian Frank, dated January 9th, raising a number of issues and objecting to the subdivision, clearing calculation discrepancies and inaccuracies, existing non-conforming to current zoning, and the subdivision would only create additional non-conformities. Diminished ecological benefits, the pine beetle infestation, the incorrect secret classification, and the storage and maintenance of trucks on site. There had been some indication from 2 neighbors that some trucks were being stored on site. On the 2 occasions that I went out there, they weren't there. So I had noted it in my resolution. We'll quickly go through it. Number 6, park fee is going to be $2,500 just for the new residential lot. 7 refers to the 20-foot naturally vegetated buffer along the westerly property boundary. And they have to remain in its natural state and remain free of all clearing, grading, and ground disturbance in structures. 8, the portion of the 20-foot buffer on Lot 1 shall be supplemented with plantings of white pines, subject to sign off by planning staff to be completed by, I didn't want to make this into a major federal case here. So I'm not really sure how to, because I don't want to bond for something like this. So I want to just give is there, something that we could say, by the.
Now, this is for the clearing on Lot 2, right?
Well, it's just for the buffer on lot. Really, it's for the buffer. I was just augmenting the buffer, to be quite honest, from the
That'd be
neighbor.
on both lots, right? If it's on the western property boundary or just?
Yeah, well, I was really, but where we had the issue, you could see here, is where it gets where am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was recommending augmenting it here, because this is where you get a lot of the beetle infestation. As you can see, as you come up here, it gets better.
Can we tie it, so that wouldn't be on the vacant lot, that would be,
It wouldn't be on the vacant lot, so I can't tie it to a CO.
you can't tie it to a building permit, okay.
So I didn't know if, we just wanted to
Yeah,
give a date.
you don't want to take a bond on private property. Can we tie it to signature of the map? Or are they looking to get it signed pretty fast? I mean, it's
They
February.
probably could get it signed pretty fast.
Their representatives said, hi, come on up.
Anthony, while the applicant's coming up, I'm seeing the red lines around what I think is the property, but you're pointing to
Oh,
stuff.
it involves two properties next to each other. So it's this one and this one, and then you'll see on that map, combined, one lot will be down here, and then the other lot back
Could we
here.
perhaps,
Could you just identify
yeah,
some-
Brian Locascio with the Adam Miller Group, attorney for the applicant. Perhaps I could put together some simple plan showing where these trees are to be sprinkled in, and we can tie that into the declaration we file that the applicants have to maintain the buffer consistent, materially consistent with this plan, dated, prepared by. And then that way is a plan on file, and, if it's cleared, we can just re-implement that plan.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that works.
Just get together,
We'll write that into the
Yeah.
resolution then.
I'll write
And I
that
can put
into the
together, where we feel like these trees are needed, and.
Well, you should have prepare a plan, then we can approve the plan, and, Anthony can take a look at it. All right, great.
So then number 9 is an updated clearing line and clearing calculations. And take into account, they'll show the pine beetle in areas of infestation. We don't typically penalize somebody for that because it's, not their fault. But at least we could see where it is in relation to the building envelopes and the buffers. And if it needs to be supplemented, then we could do that.
Okay.
But it's best that, Marty's office, best to just leave it alone and let it revegetate.
That's so true.
Anytime we pull a permit, we're gonna have to comply with clearing, so if anything's happened, it's,
Right.
we need to first look at it every time.
Number 10 shouldn't be there. It says proposed clearing line for Lot 2, but we're getting updated clearing
okay.
calculations is what I really want. 11 says a condition of approval will be the removal of any truck stored on site. And the sentence doesn't continue, but I don't know that we need to put that in there.
Well, if there are no trucks, then it's been complied with.
Yeah, and I think the town code already allows for what can and can't be parked in residential zoning districts. And if someone read that, like, you can't have a pickup truck on your lot, to me, it read kind of ambiguous.
And like I said, the aerials haven't shown any storage, and like I said, when I went out there the 2 times, there wasn't anything there. So maybe I'll just remove that and, or maybe we'll note, the planning board notes that inspection didn't reveal any cars or.
Parking on site shall be consistent with the allowable town code.
Even better. 12, the 2-lot subdivision is not subject to the Long Island Workforce Housing Act. The next one is the town engineer, standard recommendations. He talked about William Street, but William Street's a private street that they don't have rights to, so we don't have to worry about that. And is recommending approval with a 3-inch.
On that point, not that I'm looking to reopen that, but we never actually determined one way or another that we don't have rights. Do we want to put a buffer in front of that road if there's ever some issue in the future over access?
Are we proposing a buffer on Williams?
I was,
I think we were
actually,
proposing all the way up.
Right?
right up to the north there.
And I'm not looking to reopen this. I know the neighbors on Williams are very sensitive to this. We have no intention to use this, but, 30 years down the road.
You could have it contingent on
allowing
We could allow a driveway to be
a
cut through the
driveway
buffer.
through the buffer if they get access to that road.
Standard,
That
yeah,
was
standard buffer
spelled
language
out
allows
very
for
clearly.
driveway,
So I think
utilities.
what it would say is at the north end there, the 20-foot buffer would allow for a code compliant driveway to William Street in the event they had
Yeah,
rights to
this,
use
this,
that
the
street.
boilerplate buffer language that we have now
Yep, okay.
allows for
Yeah, we
driveway.
usually do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
The next one is from the Town Office of Fire Prevention. Weirdly, they're recommending fire hydrants somewhere up here. The thing is, we have public water in the street, and a hydrant over here and a hydrant over here, and we didn't get a recommendation from the fire district on a hydrant. So I'm inclined to just leave it out.
Do you
Have they
have
responded?
water on William Street as well? I see a blue line up there.
Yes.
Is there a
Oh,
hydrant up
there's a
there?
hydrant right here, too. I just never noticed that.
Where, on William?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, so there you go.
So,
All
three
one reason
hydrants,
is you have
public
access.
water, no recommendation from the fire district itself, so I'm just thinking we don't need to.
Yeah, it usually comes from the fire district. Yeah.
That be more of a reason to remove the buffer from in front of the lanes altogether, or no?
I mean, it could account for emergency,
It's, we don't have to be, I don't wanna overcomplicate it, I just, if a brush truck knocks over trees, but there's bigger issues at that point, so.
I mean, it's, let's just leave it with the ability to put a driveway in there.
Yeah.
And that's typical.
Yep.
And that's boilerplate language.
It is boilerplate.
else?
Trails
No
advisory, no recommendations. East Quogue Fire District, no recommendations. The Pine Barrens did come back with their review. Pretty standard if you go to the bottom of the page and then the next page where they start getting into the requirements. They talked about natural protection of vegetation through a covenant. We will put a covenant in there that will reference the APOD like we normally do, so
Right.
I don't think that's an issue. They said placing an identifying marker on the edge of the area to remain natural. I don't, we do project limiting fences during construction, so I think that's covered, to be quite honest.
Yeah, we used to, I drafted, like a year or two ago, I drafted a covenant, sample covenant, that everyone seemed to like about, project limiting fence and keeping it up for the duration of the
Yeah, it's on there for a period of during and after construction. to
Yeah, so
ensure-
an inspector can see, to prevent, but I don't see it being implemented. I mean, I should maybe dust it off and recirculate it.
We will put that language in there.
Oh, good.
For sure. We usually do.
I mean, we have, it's similar to the wetlands,
Yeah,
And
it's
it's for the
where it
applicant's
comes from,
benefit
it's where
too.
we took it from.
I
Yeah.
mean,
We have been putting it into.
Have we?
Yeah.
We've been saying it, I don't know if we've been.
We've been
quoting
saying
it
it, yeah.
exactly as you're saying, but they've
And,
been
uh,
telling.
Okay, because you have to be specific, otherwise the building department has to implement it,
Right, well, that's
It's supposed to be installed prior to the issuance of a building permit too.
Right, oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it normally says.
I mean, similar to wetlands, but this would be in, APOD lots that we're creating.
I agree.
Okay,
And you'll note in there, they reference the clearing 35%, and that's going to be in the
good.
resolution. Unfragmented open space. Again, the areas that are wooded, and they're going to have a clearing calculation, so the percentages, 65% of the property will remain intact. Plus, we're going to have the buffer, so that'll help create, an unfragmented area of vegetation. Fertilized dependent vegetation, we always put in the 15% limitation, so that's in the covenants as well. The next one, they talked about the long-eared bat, which I think I put in the resolution, and if I didn't, we will put it in the resolution, so when we get to it, we'll see. And that was all they had on that. So I think with the Pine Barrens, we've incorporated the Pine Barrens requirements. So if you go to the resolution there, it recommends approval of this map with the following map changes. It talks about the 20-foot wide naturally vegetated buffer along the westerly property line, extended from the existing improvements on Lot 1, extending north to the rear property line, Lot 2. We will note that it will allow for a driveway onto William Street, if they have rights to it. Updated clearing line and calculations with areas of pine beetle impacts to be noted. Lots 1 and 2 are subject to 15% maximum application of fertilized dependent vegetation. I note there are potential areas for revegetation. Again, this will be dependent on whether or not the infested areas affect, areas that are supposed to remain, intact or part of the buffer.
Yeah.
My estimates show, as you can see here, a lot of it's sitting inside building envelopes, so that's probably pretty good, actually.
Right.
Is that most of the perimeter stuff is still intact. Proposed clearing line for Lot 2 comes out. Oh, there it is. Lots 1 and 2 are located within 3 miles of the long-eared bat, so this notes the requirements of the DEC. Show the postal delivery numbers for each lot. Add a notation to the map regarding covenants and restrictions. Revise the map notation regarding compliance with zoning. Because it's got variances from the zoning board, they have to reference the zoning board decision. Payment of the park fee for $2,500, and then submission of covenants and restrictions. No further subdivision of any lots, no lot line modifications without planning board approval. Access to Lot 2 shall be from the 20-foot wide access and utility easement shown in the map. And it's shown in the map over here going to the back. And again, we won't close the door for access here.
Right.
They have the rights. They could take it. The Aquifer Protection Overlay District clearing limitations for each lot, so you know what to do with that, Brian. I didn't get specific there. No new utility poles for overhead utilities. All new utilities shall be installed underground. There's that 3-inch drainage requirement for the engineer, and then retention of all stormwater on site before, during, and after construction. Mortgage consent if applicable. Title certification, town attorney approval of all legal documents, and then submission of the Mylars and paper prints to be signed and then filed within 62 days of the signature.
Very good. Any issues, Brian? Okay, do we have a motion? Motion by Gloria, second by Kate. All in favor, aye. Opposed, abstentions? 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. Thank you.
Very much.
Good job.
Thanks, Anthony.
Claire, were you ready to jump in on Oceanside? Sure. There's a plane to catch down to. Come on up, come on up, Joe. I wasn't here the last time this was on, but the last time I saw it,
It was back in November.
4 lots and
December.
now we're down to 3.
George, you weren't here either, right?
Sorry?
You weren't here, were you? Both of you weren't here,
At
right?
the last meeting? No.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't here at the last one. We'll have to reacquaint us, Joe.
Oh. No, no.
It was 4.
Hey, I got all day here, people, all day.
That's from smaller scale, maybe if we could get some out of
Is this the small scale, Bill?
That was the
I've
handwritten
had so
one?
many of these made.
Is that good? Is there more than one?
Yeah, there's, I
Many,
mean,
yep.
before there, and this is the
Really
big
colored,
scale.
colored in.
I'm learning at the copy store what can be done on these machines. For the record, it's Joe Gaza, and I'm before you today because I have an application.
No, it's not wrong, it's wrong.
I've been before
Here,
you for about
it's
5
right here,
years.
let me give it to you.
And, can I cut ahead, Claire, or you wanna?
No, you can go.
Okay.
So we left this, with an extension of the secret deadline until the next meeting, February 26th. But Joe called me up and said, can I be on the agenda? And so I said, yes. So he's got something additional
Yep,
to
I
go
have
for the
new
meeting?
information I'd like to bring to the attention of the board.
Okay, great.
We're all ears.
I'm sure the board remembers this application must be Kathy's way, everyone's up to speed on this. Originally, it was 5 lots, that became 4 lots, now it's down to 3 lots. The 3 lots have conservation easements that are going to affect them for over 77% of the property. And the only issue remaining from the town code is that each lot has access over a right-of-way, 30-foot right-of-way, rather than frontage on a public street, which has been before the zoning board since, let's see, since August 21st of last year. And zoning board has this coming up on their calendar next Thursday. And it's sort of a time crunch because they said it's been on too long, it postponed it too many times, and they wanted to act on this application about the 40-foot street frontage. Now, I know that, having gone through all the agencies and all the departments and preserving 77% of the land and reducing it to 3 lots, I thought that was going to be the compromise. But I wanted to come today before you to offer something additional. And I thought that under the code, we have the 100-foot conservation easement, the 125-foot requirement for setback from the wetland line for the structures, and of course the 150 for the AI system. I thought if I increased the conservation easement a little bit more, I can't increase it very much more, otherwise there'll be no room for the houses. But maybe a small additional increase to hopefully get the board's approval so I can get over the SEQA process and get to the zoning board of appeals next Thursday.
Every foot counts.
And I thought maybe 5 feet additional. As
So
offer.
it's 100 now, right?
Make it 105.
Across the whole.
Across the whole,
The entire property.
Yeah.
does that still give you a workable building envelope for these lots, Joe?
It gives a workable building envelope, but it's only about 20 feet between the conservation easement and the building
So
envelope.
no sprawling lawns out to the,
No. Yeah, and there's not gonna be no swimming pools, no tennis courts. They're gonna be,
Well, swimming pools.
you can build a swimming
It
pool
is
into
a
it.
swimming pool. They're gonna have
maybe
a
a hot
swimming pool.
tub.
They put them on 5,000 square foot lots,
Yeah,
so I'm sure
yeah,
they'll
okay.
have a swimming pool.
I thought that would be a compromise additionally to finish this project. This has been going on way too long. And I know that there's been a lot of controversy over the Kathy's Way, the access and community preservation, purchasing Kathy's Way, whether that's legitimate or not. It's just a lot of issues. Kathy's Way was designed by the planning board for access to this property under the old file map rules, which is the right thing to do, but that was a long time ago, 10 years ago. And now with the potential loss of Kathy's Way, according to the community preservation, and I did obtain the new access, which is why I have to go to zoning board. I can't give up much more of this property.
Is that, your access, is that 30-foot, Joe?
It's a 30-foot width.
Okay.
It's been inspected and approved by our town engineer for
Okay.
18-foot pavement.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you have a plan, you have an access plan for that?
We have an approval from the town engineer for 4.5 years ago, when we first started with this.
And you can bring your utilities right in under that?
Utilities are gonna be underground,
Right,
electricity and public water. I have the letter of authority, put private lines in from Suffolk County Water Authority, and I've been through the health department. They haven't stamped it yet because they're waiting.
For us to do
the planning
secret,
board
yeah.
to stamp it.
Can you just recap briefly the size of the lot and the 3 sections, the amounts and the percentages and the change you want to make, just those numbers?
Certainly. Originally, I had approximately 5.75 acres of land when we started this 5 years ago. I lost my ability to use Kathy's Way, so I had to give up 26,108 square feet of the property.
So quarter acre about.
About 2/3, to get the 30-foot right-of-way. The gentleman who made the agreement with me said, I'll give you the right-of-way, but you gotta give me the lot. It's one of my proposed lots. He said, I want that lot. So that's now out of the equation.
Okay, so what's the,
Just stick to
What-
the numbers, Joe. She wants like.
yeah, I just
have
want to see
numbers.
the
Yeah,
numbers. I
nail
think
down
that's,
numbers.
that's just going to help us see the
Okay.
big picture.
The whole picture.
The, what's left
Yeah,
is this, which is 5.45 acres. 5.35, a little over 5 acres is left. And I have, earlier on in this application, I already put a conservation easement on 1 acre and 3/4, which is the dark green, for 2 reasons. The first reason was to get the development credits off of the property, and the second reason was I thought it would satisfy all the neighbors on the subdivision off of Jeffries Lane.
so that's already
This is gone. It's
sterilized.
sterilized. This, the
Okay.
dark green, 1 acre and 3/4 sterilized.
So now we're down
Or
to, now we're
press-
down to 4 acres.
Down to
Transfer
4.
of development rights. You
Yeah.
got it, development rights on that.
Down to 4. I'm proposing to sterilize another acre, this light green, by conservation easement.
But that conservation easement will go with the land,
It'll
stay with,
stay with the land.
but not with the yellow.
No.
No, just
Setbacks.
Okay,
give it 1 acre and 3/4, now we have an acre additional, the light green.
That's where
Conservation
the
easement.
fourth lot is.
Fourth lot was going to be,
Is
okay,
that,
yeah.
That is gonna be transfer of development right.
so it's
of
going to be
one lot.
another, it's going to be another TRD.
It's a TRD,
Okay.
and that is the 4th lot. That was part of. the-
Okay.
Yeah.
This helps me
Yeah, it helps us.
So what's left
I have a question. on
is
this.
now.
3 1-acre lots of 40,000 square feet each, lots 1, 2, and 3. And those 3 lots would have a conservation easement, as shown in yellow on the map, which would consume 67,370 square feet. That's about 1.5 acres, plus the extra 5 feet, if that's a compromise for the
Every
board,
foot counts.
which now reduces the usable area, as shown in white, for the 3 40,000 square foot lots. Got 3 acres, a little less than 3 acres, because an acre is 43,560. Just enough to squeeze an AI sanitary system, a modest building envelope, a small home, no pool, no tennis court.
Excuse me.
That's my request.
So the dark green is sterilized, the light green is sterilized,
To be sterilized.
Will be sterilized.
will be sterilized,
Right.
and even the yellow.
The yellow plus an
Not
additional,
disturbed, plus an additional, right,
5
buffer,
feet.
but you can't touch the buffer.
not touching anything from here over.
Gotcha.
And I would consent to a fence.
So Joe,
A fence or something.
I have a question. I wasn't here at the last meeting, but I understand that was just an extension. The last meeting was just an extension after.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
But when we discussed this back in November, December, when we went from 4 lots to 3 lots, that lot at the back of the, no, the one at the back of the gentleman who granted you the easement.
Oh, over here, yeah.
I remember the discussion at the time was that would not be considered a building lot and would be used only as a TDR parcel.
Right.
But I see on this plan, it says, it shows a building envelope with a note that says, not buildable without transfer of development rights. So are you making that a de facto building lot, so somebody can get
Well,
development rights for it?
under our code, the planning board can only consider a parcel to be developable if it meets the code area-wise or area with development rights. So unless this lot was either 40,000 square feet, which is not, it's only 26,000, or the owner of the lot had 13,000 square feet of development rights, which he does not have, because I've been with Mr. Wilcox, and he doesn't have the rights. So you could not even approve that as a developable lot, because it doesn't meet your criteria.
Well, and
Yep.
he doesn't, have that anymore.
I don't
He
own
gave
it
it to
anyway,
the
yeah.
neighbor for that
You have to
access.
consider it though.
Right, yeah.
When you do this old file map, which at the end of the day, you'll be doing an old file map if the ZBA grants the access, you have to consider what's gonna happen with that lot. And at this point, the designation is ascending parcel. So that's going to be amended to say ascending parcel.
only.
Right.
And if you do that with the
So-
secret documents, it will say it's ascending parcel. Anything different is going to have to reopen secret with the application.
So is that parcel then, is that currently owned by the,
The gentleman who, Mr. Nukowitz, who owns this property, he has it in an LLC, but he's the principal. He is the gentleman who negotiated with me for the 30-foot easement in
Yes.
exchange for this lot.
Gotcha.
He owns that.
because I guess I could see, sometime in the future, somebody can go to the ZBA and get a variance to build on this lot, and you can always purchase development rights if they're available from some people who may have development rights.
But wouldn't they need to have access?
And
There's
suddenly
no-
becomes a
But
building
he
lot.
can give himself his own access.
Through his own property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got two
He already
Driveways.
has a.
Well, he has access over that
dwelling.
easement as well, if I remember correctly.
Then he would have access over that easement
Yes.
also, but he could give himself
I
his
know,
own
but
access
he
and not
doesn't
even
need to
mess
go
with
access,
that.
he can
Did
get
you
a-
give him title, or did you give him,
Title,
you gave him title?
title for the right of way.
And the easement is, do you get a title for the easement or no?
Oh, I have, the easement was prepared on the town's forms.
Right.
It's 3 pages. It's the standard easement that the town uses for situations for access. And I modeled that, and it's recorded in Riverhead. It's completed.
But is that your land?
I don't own it, I just have the easement, the perpetual easement for
But
all
in this
legal
case, we would
purposes.
have to do secret again because it has no access.
Can you block his access to that, using the
Very
easement? for that third
clearly
lot-
in
for
this.
that-
I cannot.
You cannot, okay.
It would
No,
be-
but that's not,
it would be
regardless
conditional.
of that issue, right? You could make an access, but we're gonna say, this is a sending site. If you were to turn that back and make it a receiving site, you'd have to do another
to
whole
reopen the
secret
whole-
analysis. You'd have to.
I would recommend that because the access, one of the reasons I would suggest if you do choose to do this is that the 30-foot right-of-way is appropriate for 3 lots.
Right.
If it was 40 feet wide, I'd say it was appropriate for 4 lots, and then obviously if it's 50 feet, it's a road, so that would be my hanging the hat on why this is appropriate.
Yeah, but I think Mr. Nukowitz does his document state this, he has access over this easement as well?
He does.
Yes.
It owns the land.
He owns the
underneath
land.
He owns the
easement.
land, so.
Yeah.
About right.
He would, but, and it may make sense that, yes, you would consider that again, but that's not the question that's being asked through you, and
Now,
I'm
Claire,
asking 3.
once he
He's asking
secures
3.
his variance, we get this back, right? So we can
Yeah.
nail
Maybe the
down
old-
these buffers.
It's still an old file map.
So we'll have the full, like, a site plan, nail down these buffers, the covenants.
Well, it'd be a conservation easement, which is what he's
Easements.
saying, which
Okay.
is not a buffer, that's just a covenant. Whatever.
Yeah, they're just before the zoning board.
Right, right.
Only on the access issue,
Only on
so,
the access.
and they've been adjourned till next week, actually.
Yeah.
before the zoning
When you
board.
back on,
But
the-
Matter of fact,
the deadline for
Next
secret
Thursday,
is,
okay.
So,
is.
so when we go to reopen the old file maps, we can make that parcel a sending parcel only, so that
Yep.
it makes it, that they have to come back to that. And then, I'd really like to see these notifications taken off this map.
It's not gonna, that map you're gonna approve is not gonna look like that.
Right.
It's
Not
gonna
yet.
look like a standard old file
Old file
map.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're gonna take the
And
building
he's gonna-
envelopes off.
He's gonna
also.
have the guidance to do that.
So would this be a conditional negative?
I would recommend that, it's the
Conditional
conservation
neg-
easement, the use of the easement is only for 3 lots.
Right.
That would be a condition. I have written something that would go any way you wanted to go. So, and, I think.
Well, those would be the 2 major
Those would be the big
conditions, I
ones
think.
I'm thinking of right now.
I'm doing numbers,
Yep.
and I'm coming up with an answer that I'm confused. I'm using the numbers you gave me.
Okay.
We started out with 5.75, then we went down to 5.35 acres.
Well, it's almost, we're 5.35 from here, all of this.
Okay,
Acre and 3/4 preserved already.
So at 1.75, you've already done a TRD. Then another 1 acre, you plan to do a
I think
TRD.
on the survey,
I have it down to the square foot.
lower left, is that, I mean, it's hard to read, but on the lower left of your map, Joe, don't they bullet out some of these square footages?
Yeah, they.
Well, who can see that? I can't.
It's hard.
I can't see it with my glasses.
It does, it says 77.45%.
7%
I need my magnifying
preserved by conservation easement.
Yeah.
Well, humor me.
Okay.
I took the 5.35, I'm subtracting the 2.75, and now I'm getting 2.6 acres. I'm not getting 3.
Yeah, but he's including the yellow portion as being under a conservation easement
Yeah,
also.
you
You
can't touch.
can't build on
No,
it.
the 2
only
point,
part that's
Gloria's right, the 2.65 is the white and the yellow.
You know what, let's do it precise, because the surveyor knows what he's doing. First off, when I talked in acres, it might have been a little off, because he brings it, an acre is 43,560 square feet.
Not 40,000.
Not 40,000.
Right.
That's
So the area that has been preserved already is 73,398
98.
square feet.
It's listed right on the lower left. He bullets out all the parcels. It's hard to read.
Right.
What I do sometimes, I take a photo of it and then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm-
40,000
Right?
square
Would the
feet.
board like to look at this
Even
up
with my
close?
new eyes,
This
I'm
is
still having a hard
40,000
time.
square feet.
I think you would include in,
And
I think you would include in the yellow bit,
easement,
the yellow portion.
if you want.
It's here too if you want this.
I got it, Joe.
What's the open question? How much is the white and yellow? That's what we want to know, right?
Yeah, see.
And then how much is left, just white?
This dark green, even B is a light green,
Yeah,
40,000.
and
I can't see it.
total easement C, that's probably the yellow.
I don't think it is the yellow. I think it's the little one. Because it's only 57. What's that number?
67370.
37.
yeah,
67370.
yeah.
67.
That's the
Right, so I
yellow
think
area,
that's
because then the total
That's
is
the
the
yellow, right?
preserved area.
That's right.
Joe, what's C?
I have to look at the map for this.
It's yellow.
Joe.
It's
We
yellow.
have the same thing, we just have it in miniature
Where's that
version.
review it?
Oh, I can read this. I
D
was
is
trying
the
to read this.
40,000.
Oh, no,
This
it's
is
on the
C.
very lower left.
Yeah,
All right.
A, B, C.
Yeah.
Altogether,
Yeah,
that
C is
is
67,370.
180,000,
180,780
which is
square feet.
4.78
It
acres.
says 77.45% of the Gaza properties forever protected by the conservation easement.
And it says above that, proposed 3-lot development, average lot size, 40,000 square feet.
Yeah,
That's the lot size, but it's not how much is developable.
that's the whole, the lot size
Only
goes
the
right
white-
through that
only
easement.
the-
The
But
lot
they
size
can't,
includes
Well,
the
they can't
yellow.
cover to here. You can reduce, this is
That's what I'm
And
saying.
Joe is proposing,
well, that's why I
Adding.
was.
Joe is proposing adding 5 feet times
Gonna
approximately
increase it a little bit.
475,
Yes,
which is another almost 3,000 square feet.
right.
yeah, this numbers doesn't include the 5, you're offering another 5 feet, right?
in addition, I offer that if we can get
Okay, so
past
that's
this
gonna
thing.
increase the yellow, size of the yellow.
Gonna move it 5 feet east, the line.
C will
Got
increase slightly, but the lot sizes stay the same, because he's
So
just talking about the portion. that-
Right.
Yeah, and that
Portion
meets,
that's
that
built.
meets zoning at
Up with
40,000.
2.6 acres for 3 lots.
Okay.
So there was not 1 acre per lot. That was, because I was using the rounded numbers he gave us. And so that was.
Does it make sense
that's
now,
what-
though?
Yeah,
Sorry, it wasn't precise.
well, and,
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
well, I actually can read this, but I didn't know where to look, because I was,
Yeah.
You read it?
It's
yes, I can, actually.
at our age.
That's the miracle of cataract surgery.
That's great, that's great.
Okay, so
People
you
that-
understand the
people that buy
numbers.
these
Yeah.
lots, the people that buy the white lots, they actually will own the white lot and the yellow, but they can't build on the
That's
yellow.
correct. The conservation easement over
Right.
their backyard.
Okay.
And you're sure you can get you sure you can get houses with septic on this?
Oh, they
That's what all
can.
that-
I'm just gonna clarify his building envelopes a little bit here for him. Okay. He's showing an 80-foot setback from, not the property line, but the driveway. So he gets that, right?
Oh, okay.
So on the 2 of the 3 lots,
it's the foot setback is from the property line, not a driveway. There's no setback
Okay,
from a
yeah, because the
driveway.
driveway's on the lot.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
The second thing is the code, and allows you to reduce, when you have wetlands, allows you to reduce it by 50%. So you'll be entitled to 40-foot setbacks
Oh, okay.
for that setback from a resident. So
just-
there is that's what the code reads right now.
Right, that they
And
would
I'm not
have to
saying
authorize.
do anything about it, but
Yeah.
there are bigger building envelopes than he's showing
Oh,
on it.
okay.
And then, you know what? We're just gonna reflect that in the future.
In
so,
that resolution.
Yeah. So
What-
there's doable building envelopes.
So on secret, the conditional neg deck, what are the conditions we're looking for?
Well, let me pass it out to you, so you're
Okay.
comfortable with this.
I know one thing was the parcel behind.
Do we want any buffers from the parcels? Since we know he has got such a big, setback there, do we
Well,
want
he's
like a
off from the
20-foot?
5%.
No,
the
I'm
5%.
sorry, not from the wetlands,
From the back.
from the neighbors.
Oh, well, we have the driveway, yeah, I mean,
We're looking at 20-foot would be
You want it-
kind of
yeah.
normal.
20-foot buffer from the back lots.
Yep.
It just affects two lots. What do you got there, Bubba?
Oh, and I forgot to give myself one, but you can give one
Sure.
to Joe.
You can have mine.
Sure.
Yeah.
We had started,
You're squeezing them. It's called a squeeze foot.
Sanitary in there.
yeah, and that's at 125 too. So your sanitary is gonna be maximum 125.
I don't know if it's practical to put a buffer, because it's tight.
Okay.
Can you bring up the aerial? First, zoom in.
So the
yeah.
ones I've identified, so what I've done is identified moderate to large impacts. And then with that would be some conditions. I've identified 3 conditions that would be part of it. I didn't list the conditions at the end, but I've stated them a couple times. They would be impact on the surface waters. This is the headwaters to Aspetuck Creek. That's why the town bought the property to the north, that it was very important that they preserve that. So with that is the 100-foot conservation, 105-foot conservation easement. So I say 100-foot natural buffer, but it'll be a 105-foot conservation easement, so I'll change that wording. And that's on top of page 2. Impact on land is small to moderate, impact on surface water is moderate to large. Impact on groundwater is small to moderate. There, obviously there's a requirement of IA system, so I'll say that there. I just put a little wording there. Impact on flooding, likewise, that was something the board had said before, located in a 500-year floodplain. And again, you're gonna do the 105-foot conservation easements on the property. So that's still condition number 1 with
Okay.
this. I have identified, and we've done this before, the northern long-eared bat with the clearing window. I think it just, since we're doing this anyways, it's just a nice notice to people that they, clearing window is, now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it till the, end of March or something?
I think it is,
End
end
of
of
February,
February,
wow.
yeah, so that'll be condition number 2. And
Yeah.
I've cited that one. Impact on critical environmental area, this is in New York State, freshwater wetlands. And again, I'll state the 105 natural foot buffer for conservation easement. And then the proposed access, this is where I say it is via the easement known as 25 Peters Lane for 3 lots only. So this is the condition. If somebody wants to change it, come back, develop that parcel, whether it's over this easement or another easement, you'd consider it at that time. And then consistency with the community plans. This is where they're in violation, not in violation, but they need variance from the zoning board of appeals for the access on the property. So that is condition number 3. And then likewise, consistency with community character, and this has to do with the wetlands buffer, which is the 105 feet conservation.
Claire, on the driveway that goes through the 2 lots, what does the code say about how that driveway is, how far it is from the neighbor's land? Is there anything?
No.
It could be right on the line, right? Okay, the code doesn't talk to that at all. Okay,
But it's a driveway, it's meant
Yeah.
to present like a driveway.
yeah,
That's why we definitely have a policy, no more than 4 in any case with a common driveway, those
Right,
kinds of
right,
things, so.
okay.
Okay, this is my recommendation.
You had mentioned like swimming pools or, the size of the lot, is dictated by the building envelope, but given the proximity to Aspetuck Creek, are there any justification that we could make to say there are no swimming pools allowed or to limit the square footage?
Any pools have to be within the building, the building envelope.
Well, not so much a building, because it's an accessory, they're in the backyard, right?
Yeah, they haven't.
But you're also, you're also 150 feet from the wetland line.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a,
asked
yeah.
and answered.
In this
Are
area,
we gonna do
every
this,
house has
are we
a
gonna do this for every applicant who has a wetland in his property? If we're gonna do that, that's fine, but,
No, we don't have the ability.
it's what's
But you
allowed,
have
it's
to-
what's allowed by the building code and what we have identified as a white portion of the property, which is your.
Right.
I guess that's a further exploration of building envelope, right, because a lot is being squeezed into small areas. Throughout the town, you're seeing that.
Well,
So it's a separate discussion than this application.
I'd defer to conservation, they're so much more smarter about the impacts on a pool,
Yeah.
on wetlands. And I know they had comments on previous applications, but we just don't have their expertise in this matter. So.
So, and then we would get this map back clear, right?
This would be an overall map.
Okay.
And then these lots would be subject to the 3/10, 4/10 because it doesn't meet lot. These are conform in lot size, but they do not meet lot width, so they'd have some relief from the side yard setbacks in that case.
I believe that my surveyor went all through these calculations under the 3/10, 4/10 rule, and that's how he came up with the building envelope. Using
Which
all the
look
setbacks.
normal in size.
Could you explain what we're talking about?
Sure, so it wouldn't, if you put, the lots are, basically how wide are the lots, 100 feet?
100 feet. a
Yeah.
little-
So the lot for a CR 40 lot, which would be conforming, would be 150 feet wide. If the lots are only 100 feet wide, they would not conform, they would need some relief. And when you do an old file map, they can avail themselves of the pre-existing setbacks, which is you take the width of the lot and you multiply it by 4/10, and then that is your total setback. And then you multiply it again, and that is your one side yard setback.
Got that?
So it's a calculation.
It's a calculation. So
Reduce
4/10 of
setbacks.
100 is 40 feet, so your total side yard setback would be 40 feet, and then when you multiply that again, it's 24 feet would be your minimum on the one side. Or 16 feet would be the minimum on one
I
side.
keep thinking of Wayne's World when Dana Carvey looks in the camera and goes, okay.
It's relief for setbacks, when the lot is undersized in
Yeah.
terms of lot width. It's a tool, so that we're not going to the zoning board of appeals every time you approve an old filed map.
Okay.
That may be conforming. In this case, it's not conforming in terms of lot width. To get the lots away from the wetlands,
Yeah.
that is the tool, so, okay.
So on page 4, you've identified the condition, are these the conditions for the,
Yeah, so, on page 4, I'm saying based upon 1, 2, and, the information provided, that the 3 conditions would be, the 105-foot conservation easements.
okay, that includes the additional 5 feet.
Yep,
Okay.
105-foot conservation easements, the compliance with the northern long-armed bat restrictions, regulations, and then number 3 would be the easement should only be used for the 3 lots. Okay? So that would be a recommendation, it would be a condition neg deck, it'd be filed with the states, put in the ENB notice, and a copy would be given to the zoning board of appeals so they could use it with their application if they're inclined to grant it. Okay?
So Joe, we're gonna get this back after you get your
Right.
variance.
Have to see me again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
And no suntan next
it's
time.
been more than 6 years. Well, just to conclude,
Oh, Joe.
Oh, my goodness.
You really? Wow.
this was a 60-acre old file map.
is fading. You need to get to Florida right away.
You know, there's an old saying, when, you know,
You're winning, Joe.
when you win,
Lose it.
when you make the sale, stop selling.
Only
Thank you very much.
So our action then is to adopt the conditional negative declaration with the conditions outlined by Claire. Do we have a motion by George? We have a second? Second by David. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? We have 5 yes, 1 absent, and 1 vacancy. And now we can send Mr. Gaza back down. Florida.
Zoning board? No, I'm going to zoning
Oh,
board
that's
Thursday.
right, yeah, Thursday next week, okay.
Then I'll come back.
Then you go
I'll come
back
back
down.
here.
Oh, come back here.
Yeah.
I heard your presentation to the zoning board next week is going to be brief.
It's never brief with Joe.
I don't think that's
Joe, do you want this back?
possible.
That's true. Give them to the zoning board.
Can I hang on, can we hang on to these?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to hang
I
on.
can get more. Does anyone?
No, just-
I'd like to hang
Good,
on
we'll have
to
it for
this.
the record when you.
'Cause we're gonna see it back.
when you reactivate your.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me save one for zoning board.
I'm good. Just so you know, Christine wants the basket, not me, so can you pass it?
oh, yeah.
I'll make it clear that it's not me, it's her.
Thanks for the
Joe's tested me to my
visuals,
limit.
Joe, it really helped me to,
You're driving it to eat candy, Joe.
Tested me to my limit.
yeah. Rena, are you ready to go with prime storage? Rich
Move
hand,
it from
item
my
9
meal,
on the
I'll be tempted to eat
agenda.
it also.
Just in case.
Come on down.
This is an existing storage facility on Butter Lane, 229 Butter Lane in Bridgehampton. The board very recently saw this in this past November. It was on for pre-submission. And what they're proposing is to convert, so that's the one with the dark pavement, to the left of that, to the, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have the large structure in the front and the 4 smaller structures in the back, and they're proposing to convert the large structure from warehouse storage to a 2-story self-storage facility.
Self-storage, okay.
So now it's back before you for final site plan, special exception review. It's a type 1 action pursuant to secret due to the associated quantity of parking, existing and proposed. And it's before you to coordinate secra, and I've identified the health department as an involved agency.
Coordination mandatory, right?
Yeah.
So our resolution then is to initiate
coordinate
coordination.
secra
Very
with
good.
the,
Do we have a
health
motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Kate?
Kate. Second by David, all in favor, aye, opposed,
The
abstentions.
fact that I said,
5 yes.
we'll just ignore that.
After 3 o'clock, I'm shot. Seth, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Item 10, Jacob Smither.
Jacob Smither, 72 Bay Avenue West. This is Hampton Bays, R20. We have a subdivision pre-application has been brought into the planning board. This is a 43,106 square foot property to be divided in almost half, 21,552. At any rate, it is currently incomplete for lack of septic system being put on the site plan. So,
Motion to deem it incomplete.
Is it a flag lot in the back or something? I just,
it is a flag lot scenario, yes.
Seth, I didn't see a checklist.
I actually have one here with me right now. I don't know, was it not included in the packet? I thought it wasn't, should have been included.
I find it helpful to see whether it's a whole lot of stuff, or is it just,
Yeah. No, there wasn't very much stuff, and they're actually, I've heard back from the applicant, they're having difficulty finding the septic system.
that could be a problem.
That is a problem, but they can be found by hand. I've had to find my own, so.
So is it being deemed incomplete?
It's incomplete, yeah.
Incomplete, yeah.
Very good. Is that a motion, George?
Yes.
Motion by George, second by Kate, all in favor, aye, opposed, abstentions. You have 5 yes,
Thank you.
1 absent, 1 vacancy. Thanks, Seth. And Anthony's up on Donato, completeness on the final application.
So we have property here on Bay Avenue West. It's in the R20 zone. It's this piece right here in Hampton Bays. Actually, you'll see next to it is this strip of land that's a access easement. That's actually attached to this property and access what's going to be a flag strip to the back of the property. Let me just show you. This is one that went also to the zoning board, so it's been out there a long time. So it's going to be, you can see that strip is delineated here, but it's a flag strip to the back. It's got an existing easement over it in favor of this, and all of this is owned by the same family, as a matter of fact.
How large is the front lot?
The front lot is 15 and change.
And they got a variance, it's R20 zone, right?
There was a variance from the zoning board, and they also had to go to the board of review in health department, just so you know. Is there, Brian?
Yes.
On this one, that health department approval, did that require any sanitary or anything?
In terms of,
Flow credits?
yes, Pine Barrens, and we went through all that,
Okay.
yes.
You have to bring in Pine Barrens credits?
Yes, yep. We had originally had town credits, then the county accepted them, then a prior speaker withdrew his sales, we then got Pine Barren credits, and
We
It
need,
was
we
all
need you,
established.
we need you to get up to the microphone and
Sorry.
identify yourself.
They can't get town credits unless they're doing affordable, right?
the Pine Barren credits were purchased and submitted to the county, and we received health department approval subsequent to that.
So they used that credit for the health department approval, the variance for the zoning purposes were granted by the zoning board of appeals.
Right, okay.
I did a resolution, we previously deemed this incomplete way back in 2023, I believe, because they were getting through the health department. My resolution deems this complete, recommending schedule the hearing for March 12th. Going back through the record, there was no public comments when you did this initially. There was no public comments at the zoning board stage. And then they have a public, believe it or not, the board of review at the health department is subject to a public hearing where the county notifies the neighbors. No public comments there, so I was thinking maybe waive the hearing with a 30-day written comment period.
Sure, yep. That makes sense.
So that's what I'm recommending, complete and waive the hearing with the 30-day written.
30-day written motion by George, second by Gloria, and all in favor. Aye, opposed, abstentions. 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wrong one here. The next one, we have Charles Sarah.
Excuse me.
So this is actually just the right property here? Hold on. No, I don't have the right property. There we go. All right, so this is in Noyak, residentially zoned properties. I believe these are in the R15 zoning district. And what it was a lot line modification. Mr. Totaro owns this piece and this piece. There was a lot line modification. Some of this land got shifted from the property. Conforms to zoning, Both have houses on them already. I think it got deemed incomplete a while ago. There were some questions about potential zoning as a result of the lot line modification. That has since been rectified. I met with the Candace in zoning. There's actually the setbacks and there's no pyramid issue. And actually, they already obtained health department approval. So I'm just recommending deeming this application complete and waiving the hearing with the 30-day written comment period.
Great, very good. Do we have a motion? Motion by Kate, second by Gloria, and all in favor. Aye, opposed, abstentions, 5 yes, 1 absent, and 1 vacancy. Trina, are you ready to go with 3436 Ocean? That's the one in East Quogue.
Sorry, this is a, the application for a lot line modification involving those two properties. They're looking to transfer a portion of a previously abandoned road. So this is part of the old file map, what is it called, Pine Neck Development. And Pine Street, they did an application in 2021, they got approval to abandon the entire portion of the road. So both neighbors got their halves, and now they're looking to transfer the southern half into number 34 Ocean to absorb that 2,000 square foot portion.
Is that this portion here, Brenna?
Yeah, the southernmost portion.
You can't, a property owner has, even with authorization from the other property owner, cannot abandon a full road. So they abandon half with the
Yeah,
neighbor and then
that's
have to do a
pretty
lot
standard.
line change to get the other half.
Well, it looks
It's
like
sort of
they,
crazy.
They abandoned.
looks like they kind of acquired the other half of the road. there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of started taking it over. Anyway, the survey that was submitted with the application was the survey that was used for the road abandonment. So I'm recommending we deem it incomplete because we'll need sort of a subdivision on it, like a transfer map.
Oh, okay.
And there's certain information that goes with that. And I feel I have the review form, I don't know if you want to look at it, but I did provide it to the applicant and notified them that they'd be deemed incomplete if you agree.
Motion by George,
Second?
second by Gloria, and all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions? You have 5 yes, 1 absent,
Great, thanks.
1 vacancy, and that's for incomplete. Anthony, are you ready with MRM? Item 14. That's on for completeness.
Yep. So everyone's familiar here
Yes,
with the
we are.
shopping center. We've been talking about all this stuff. So this is a cannabis retailer. We know that we have some potential across the street and everything. That's not our beef, to be quite honest. We're going to let the state do what they're doing. So this applicant is looking to convert roughly 2,000 square feet over here into a cannabis retailer. They've provided all of the necessary information, all the mapping. So I'm recommending deeming that application complete and scheduling the hearing for March 12th.
March 12th, very good. Do we have a motion? Motion by Kate, second by
Second.
Gloria, and all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions? 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. And keep on going with God's Country, Tree Farm.
So, got this large piece of property here. This is preserved land. I believe it doesn't show up. It's, I believe the county bought the development rights here, so it's not a
Okay.
town. We have an application, an agricultural construction permit for, it's pretty big, actually. So they're looking, what's to amount to an agricultural building. It's 10,000 square feet. It's pretty big. This is a landscaping nursery, so it's the agricultural entity there is a nursery stock. I'm recommending the application be deemed incomplete. I spoke with the applicant. There was some mapping stuff, some architectural information that we needed, and some sort of description of how all this operates, the need for a 10,000 square foot building, some floor plans perhaps, that sort of showed the space. They may have actually given the floor plans. I also know this landscaper, he's a local a police officer, and he has other property also that he operates his landscaping business out of. So I said all that information would be helpful so we can make sure that we have a bona fide agricultural use here. So we're just going to deem it incomplete, and I've already met with them, so they'll get us the information ASAP.
Motion by Gloria and second by Kate. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. Trina, how about North Sea Hardware?
Yeah, that's another completeness, also incomplete. This is for, so it's an existing hardware store, they're looking to legalize
Oh,
a
yes,
small
they have that
portion of
second
storage. Yeah, it's 640 square feet of these steel containers that they've set in the back.
Yeah.
They're looking to legalize that, so it's site plan wetlands permit application. But I don't have, I need a survey that's to scale. They, very recently, the Environment Division flagged the wetlands, so they still have to map that on their survey.
okay.
And then we also need plans and elevations. But yeah, so we really don't have much to review yet.
So we're just deeming it incomplete?
Deeming it incomplete, yeah.
Very good. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Gloria, second by David, all in favor, aye, opposed, abstentions. 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. And Seth is up, 449.
Watermill Town Road.
Vegetation, is merely an extension of a revegetation approval. We received a request to have an extension until April 30th, 2026 for the site 449 Watermill Town Road. I'll just remind you, it was the one with the underground or basement basketball court.
Underground basketball court?
That we had struggled with. At any rate, they want to extend their revegetation, so, like I said, April 30th, 2026.
Okay, I mean, they can't get CBO until,
No. They don't want to lose that approval.
gotcha, okay.
Do you want to give it to him till May 30th, just because I'm not quite sure how much planting?
Well, they start planting in March.
Yeah, but the ground's frozen.
If it ever stops freezing.
They had asked, I'd certainly give them till May, yeah, I mean.
Want to do May?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Something-
makes-
It is a tough winter.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to.
Looks like the building permit was
It's
issued.
not tough for Joe Gaza.
Right, so it links with the building permit was issued, May.
Oh, was it
Yeah,
May?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you could do that, the building permit.
Link it with the,
It was May 12th, 2025, so.
Okay, so I'm going to revise my resolution to state that the extension will go till May 30th
Okay,
of 2026.
as amended, do we have a motion? Motion by Gloria, second by David, he's nodding his head, all in favor? Aye, opposed, abstentions. 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 vacancy. Don't go to any high-end auctions, David. Picasso, 28 million to this man.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Okay.
What?
Just have to acknowledge the plans.
Oh,
We're finished.
no, can't be the agenda.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep. we
Damn,
have-
I'm good. We're acknowledging,
Self-praise is no value.
we're acknowledging for signature item 18 Bud Hampton,
It's been signed.
item 19 Brazil,
It's been signed.
item 20,
It has not been signed.
okay, item 20 has not been signed, that's 70 and 80 Scuttle Hole Road.
Greta, that,
Yeah, we need to modify a couple minor items and we'll have it on for next time.
Next time.
okay.
Okay, great. Any walk-ons?
No,
Good. Motion to adjourn.
don't walk on anything.
By Kate, second by David, we're adjourned
Yep.
at 6 PM.